Hello, it's Jay here. Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be telling you where you can find trucks, specifically box trucks, because my channel is more focused toward that audience. But you can apply this to basically any part of trucking. It's just going to be a little bit different in terms of like website and things like that. But I will go ahead and show you how I found my box truck and the different methods that you can do. Real quick, the three different methods you can do is you can finance and buy one, or with cash, you can buy one, or you can lease. You can come to somebody like me, like, hey, can I lease your box truck? We can go to a lawyer, write up a contract with the terms and all that good stuff. Just like instead of going to a rental company, you would come to an individual and lease their truck, or maybe a dealership. I know a lot of dealerships lease vehicles as well. Depending on the contract and what you come to an agreement on, it may be a cheaper option in the long run than renting, for example. But owning your own truck in the long run will probably be a better option. Option 3, real quick, is renting. Starting out, especially now, has gotten so expensive that it's not really possible unless you have a good connection built with a rental company, or a guy at a rental company that can give you a good rate, or you know somebody that has a good connection that can connect you with them. If you don't, like me, I got quoted for just a single week $2,100, and then it's like 12 cents a mile, and then after 1,000 miles it's 32 cents a mile on top of that. So it's like, it's not really feasible. I've had a comment and the guy said, you know, you can easily make $5,000 a week, and he's like, rentals are like $500-$600. I don't know what time he started renting. In today's time, it's not possible. It's completely mind-blowing that box trucks are over $2,000 a week. You might as well go get a semi, you know what I'm saying? But getting back on track, this is where I found my box truck. I started out renting. I did it for one day, and the price it didn't make sense money-wise, so I went and bought a truck. Now, since I bought my truck, prices have almost doubled, almost tripled really in price since I bought my box truck. So it's a little bit different, but there's a reason why they doubled. So let's get into it. I pretty much Google searched box truck for sale. Okay, do this. It'll pop up in your general area. It'll give you a bunch of websites. Now, Penske sells trucks, Ryder sells trucks, and this Commercial Truck Trader, I have found a couple of listings on there. But let's go right straight to Penske and Ryder. 235,900 miles for $55,000. That it's just insane. 255. It is a Hino, but 255,486 for $78,000. For $80,000 for a 255,000 mile truck is, to me, is just insane. I mean, look right here. 500,000 kilometers. Oh, I thought this said miles, kilometers, so it's not as bad. But $52,000. I mean, guys, this is crazy. 407 miles for $58,000. These aren't semis, okay? Now, maybe they have updated the engine and stuff like that, but to me, the rental companies that sell trucks, they list them way too high. I avoid them entirely, so let's get off Penske. Same thing over at Ryder. I mean, look at this. There's a Red Bull truck they're trying to sell for $81,000. Here's a small 16-footer. Do not buy anything less than 26 foot if you're looking for a box truck. You're going to lose out on a lot of money, and then you're going to have to try to sell that, and it's very hard to sell to upgrade to a bigger one. I remember when I first started looking, Ryder had them at about 43 to 50K, and then I got mine for like 23. Let's move on to the next option. Here is just commercial truck listings. Kind of the same thing. It just pulls from different websites that have trucks listed. Overpriced. Your best option, and I know it sounds crazy, is Facebook Marketplace. This is how I found my truck. Search it via 500 miles. Give it a radius of 500 miles. You might have to travel, but I mean, take a look at this one right here. Now, yes, it is an international. It's 2012. It's probably a Max Force. Mine's a Max Force, my first one, and honestly, I had no problems. But mine had every maintenance log you could want. Okay, he treated it like a baby, and he bought it brand new, and he put all the miles on it. So he was an older man. He was retiring from the trucking industry and moving to Florida, and he was selling his truck. He had all the logs. He put me in contact with his mechanic that done all the work to it. So pretty cool, pretty nice. But I mean, this right here, he has the big box on here, total engine overhaul. That could be good, that could be bad. You would want to inquire about this, but $33,000. I took out a loan for $33,000, and the truck cost me $23,500. And I took out that extra. I took out this much, and my payment exactly $33,000. My payment's $653 a month. So it's pretty, I had a cosigner, it's a pretty decent rate. Compare renting $2,100 a week times 4. I'm going to do the math with you real quick. And this is not including if you go over 1,000 miles and the cents per mile. So let's do 2,100 a week. Let's do it times 4. That's $8,400 a month to rent a Ryder truck. That was the lowest rate I could find anywhere around me. Compare that to $653 a month. Look how much more you'll be paying if you rent, okay? Just look at that number comparatively. That's $7,747 difference than financing a truck. Okay, you tell me what sounds better. $8,400 a month? And this is including, let's say you drive, 1,000 miles, you're going to put that on in like a day, day and a half. So really, you might as well just say it's 32 cents a mile. You're talking over 10 grand a month to rent a truck. Now, you know, if you can get better rates, more power to you. Don't stop watching just yet, because you're like, I got quoted 1,000, I got quoted 800, I got quoted 600. Okay, I don't want to hear it in the comments. I don't want to hear it. These were the lowest rates I could find. You can hit up somebody and you might get their connection that they have, and you can get a better rate. More power to you. But $600 a week still, okay? $600 a week, let's say it's $600 a week times 4, $2,400 compared to $653, you're still paying $1,700 more a month just for the truck. We're not talking about the maintenance costs. We're not talking about the food you're going to buy. We're not talking about tolls yet. We're not talking about hotels yet. We're not talking about, there's so low board fees. We're not talking about a lot of stuff here, and you're still paying $1,700 more than me a month. That's why I suggest you buy a truck, or I would go as far as say lease a truck from an owner operator with some terms that you can both agree on, that's not crazy like renting a truck. Like if I was to lease out my truck, $300 a week would be good, but I would have to do like a cent per mile sort of deal, but it wouldn't be anything like the rental companies. But if you didn't want cents per mile, then of course the rate would have to go up per week, because you got to talk about maintenance. Now it could be put in the lease that you do all the maintenance, and you have to have a receipt, and you have to have it on time, and you have to send it to me. You see what I'm saying? And then that way it keeps the rate low per week, and you don't have to pay cents per mile, and you just do all the maintenance routinely. That would probably be a better deal. So I would say your best option first is buying a truck. Your second option is going to be leasing. Your last option should be renting. It's just the fees and everything included is just so high that you're barely going to make any money. Leasing will probably be a good option for a lot of people if you can find somebody willing to lease out their truck. I'm not talking about dealerships. I'm talking about peer-to-peer. Go see a lawyer, get a contract written up, and if you violate that contract, that owner-operator will have the power to sue you because of that contract. So don't think if you lease, you're like, oh, I'm going to get this guy. If they do it right and they get a lawyer, they're going to take everything that you've made and then probably more. That's my take. Now, this truck has 300K miles, but it depends on what they've done to the engine. If it says total engine overhaul, they could have basically put a new engine in there, or took out the old one and then had it bored out, everything cleaned up, and then rebuilt pretty much, and then put back in. So this truck in particular, this is in Loganville, Georgia. You might want to, skip it. You might not. Now, here's an 07 Hino for 14. There's got to be something wrong with it. It is 33K pounds. You could get that derated though. The 483 miles is very, very high, but it's only $14,000, and you can again get this derated if you're non-CDL. I don't know about that one. This is still, as of right now, my favorite, but you would have to, of course, look at it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some insight about the 3 ways to basically get a truck and get started in specifically the box truck industry. Semi, it's kind of the same deal, honestly. Any truck, especially like hot shot, box truck, semi, I'm going to say buying from an owner operator that has all maintenance records is going to be your best bet, because fleet owned is also fleet operated. And I've seen some crazy drivers. I seen a Penske truck one time do a U-turn on a bypass, and he went in the grass on the opposite side. Truck looks like it's about to tip over. He's on a hill, like on a ditch like this. He's just, and the wheels are just spinning, slinging dirt and mud everywhere. He gets back on, and I'm like, no wonder rates are high. So fleet owned is also fleet operated, okay? Those trucks, especially like Enterprise, yeah, they're fleet maintained, but they're also fleet owned and operated, okay? I would avoid all Penske, Ryder, any fleet sort of deal. But you can just see by the numbers here, people renting a truck, if I went by the lowest rate I could find when I started out, are paying $7,747 more a month than me for the truck I financed starting out. So please do hit the like button, helps out a ton. Leave a comment below how you found your truck, any advice you would give other new operators starting or other people that want to add more trucks to their fleet. I'm going to start going live more and hanging out with you guys. My next video I want to make will be about YouTube and how my first month monetized, I actually paid my rent with YouTube money. Even if I didn't monetize my channel with ads, YouTube would still play ads and I would get nothing back from it. I get like so many cents per every view. It's like 2 cents per view, so at least it's something. But the crazy thing is that it paid my rent the first month I was monetized. That's crazy, right? I mean, that's money that I'm making just to help you guys out, and you don't have to do anything. I mean, you're going to have to watch ads anyway, so get monetized and make something from it instead of making nothing from it. You know what I'm saying? So peace out, guys. See you next time.